So, once again, it appears Global is just the beta testers for CN, and this time it is for Nikke. It's just released in CN, and they've got a bunch of quality of life updates that Global has been asking for quite some time now. Some of them just small little tweaks, really, that are not a major thing, but then the mold situation is pretty drastic and really sucks. Another game that's kind of treating Global like second-class citizens, and citizens that have had access to the game for so long as well, that have been supporting the game, and now just pushed aside because the new child is here now, and that is CN. So we'll have a look at this post here, and then we're going to go over to this video from Sephi here as he explains it a little bit more in depth, and we'll see what's going on, because I'm very much interested to see what he's got to say here. And we'll have a look at this post as well. Let me just move my camera also so we're not in the way of his beautiful bearded face. And let's get into it then. So this is from Glittering Novel over on the Nikke Mobile subreddit from 5 hours ago. The CN version has practically all the quality of life changes we've been asking for over 2 years. So far, these are all confirmed changes. Loading times are significantly reduced, which is ridiculous. The game actually performs better for CN now, which is wild that isn't just rolled out at the same time as it releasing there. It's insane. Tribe Towers have auto progress now, so you can just literally auto clear those, which is, again, this is not like game breaking for Global, right? But it's another quality of life thing. Auto progresses, sweeps, all these sort of things, when they're just not in games, suck. And when a certain section of the game gets it, or a certain section of the community gets it and the rest don't, it's just like a slap in the face of those players. Again, the players who've been supporting the game for the longest time as well. It's not like the game's released at the same time and one player group is getting treated better than the other, although still trashy. You just insulted all of your previous supporters. Actually ridiculous. So hopefully this comes to Global very soon as well. Molds don't have SRs, and failed molds build up to 100% SSR mold. So there's no SRs in the mold pool now. There's just SSRs. You can fail an SSR, but you'll get PCs that I think you get like 12, I think. And then I think you need 50 to get up to being able to claim an SSR. So you can fail, but you won't fail into an SR. Basically, it just gives you part of a build towards an SSR, which, again, it's not really failing in a sense if you only have to do a couple more and you're going to get an SSR anyway. So, again, no pool of SRs in that pool for the molds, which is the biggest thing here. That is ridiculous. The Global has the chance to fail into an SR, but now CN just no, you just got SSRs and the potential to fail for parts towards an SSR in the future, which is just insane. The battle pass has 2 levels, one for pulls and one for resources. This isn't such a big deal, but still it's allowing them to get access to skins probably at a better deal as well, which is kind of, it is ridiculous really when you think about it. It depends when you know, like, what you're after, really. The mold situation, I think, is the one that's the major problem, really. Multiple characters have had their kits buffed, according to Sephi. I have no clue about that. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played Nikke now for it's probably been a couple of months, if I'm honest, so I'm a little bit behind on what's going on anyway. And apparently he's going to cover them in time, so we'll definitely look at that also when he does that. You can now level up 5 characters at once until you're over the 160 wall. Shops have been updated with better resources and characters are available in other shops. And CN has animated solo raid frames as well. So I don't see a single excuse as to why Global did not get these quality of life changes. Even worse is that Global Nikke accounts are shilling Stellar Blade 24/7 now, pretending we don't notice what they're doing on the CN servers. It's wild, right? It's wild. Again, another developer treating Global like they just don't matter. You know, that they were the firstborn. Now the new shiny babies come along and it's like you get pushed to the side, right? That's kind of what it feels like. And the fact that, like I say, they've been supporting the game for over 2 years, you know. It's not like, oh, we're worried that we've got to make sure we keep CN happy because CN is going to be the majority of our player base. Global has been supporting the game for quite some time now, so it does suck to see. Let's check out the video from Sephi, though, and see what he's got to say, shall we? I'm curious of his viewpoint on all of this. He's actually playing on a CN account here, so he's going to go through all of the things that we've just spoke about in a little bit more detail. I'm curious to see what his viewpoints are on this. As I say, I'm a little bit out of the loop with Nikke at the moment, so I'm really curious to see what an active player's got to say about this, because this is pretty shitty. This is pretty shitty. It just doesn't stop at the moment. It's just gacha game after gacha game after gacha game, messing up. If it's not Infinity Nikke, it's Black Beacon. If it's not Black Beacon, it's Ethereum Restart. It's just like, oh yeah, we're over there thinking, damn man. Keep it up, guys. This keeps everybody off our case. Actually, ridiculous. Let's check this video out there. Guys, if you haven't already, go check out Sephi as well. We're going to subscribe to Sephi also. And let's see what he's got to say in this video then, shall we? Got a beautiful beard.
And I wanted to make a video talking about the 2 things that have pissed me the most so far when it comes to this version.
I've got the sniffles as well, sorry.
Things, actually. But before we start, as usual, hello there.
The mold has to be the most annoying thing for him, right?
Gambling addict. Today's topic, Nikke CN. And of course, I want to lower a little bit the music right there. I want to talk about 3 things that are kind of pissing me off, that are really good, that we
I love the way he says piss.
In global. Before we start, leave a like, subscribe, help me grow the channel, and thank you to all my patrons.
Yes, guys, definitely go check out Sephi. Show some love.
So, let's start with the easiest one. That's like, whatever, you know, if we don't get this, is fine, but it's also pretty good. A lot of mission passes in Nikke are not good. The skin.
See, for me, I think Global should get this right. Again, it's not the end of the world. It's not the mold situation. But I think I disagree a little bit there. If CN's getting this, Global should get this. Okay, there's a spectrum of problems, right, of the scale of things, and this is not at the top of it. But I definitely think Global should be getting this also.
Skins suck. That's the reality, okay? Now, the Chinese pass is changed a little bit. It's the same amount of
Got the sniffles, guys, sorry.
But you are guaranteed an SSR, because molds are guaranteed SSRs, by the way. We'll talk about that on a second. And
actually ridiculous.
Different tiers. So let's say you want to buy the mission pass in global. You pay 20 bucks and you get everything, right?
Yep.
But a lot of times the skin, it's a bad skin. This skin is not a good skin, right? It sucks. Did I get it? Yes. Is it bad skin? Yes. But sometimes I want the pools, but I don't want to spend 20 bucks for this. So what China has done is separated the battle pass into 2 tiers. Usually I dislike layered.
I agree. I'm not the biggest fan of layered tiers. And again, this isn't the be all and end all, right? But the ability to be able to just go in at a cheaper price and go for the resources and not care, you know, if you don't care about the skins so much, it's allowing you to do it for a little bit cheaper, as I said earlier. You know, like, why is this not being rolled out everywhere? As I say, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give Shift Up the benefit of the doubt, right? That this is just going to roll out everywhere else. Why on earth it would launch in CN with all of this before Global is, like, beggars belief, as I say. But there's that part of me that's like, let's just wait. Maybe over the next patch or so, we'll see something like this come into Global. I don't know.
The battle passes, but in this case, it's pretty good, because for less than $10, you are getting 25 pulls per mission pass. This is way better than almost any offer we have in the shop. And then if you wanted to buy everything, the deluxe pass, you will be getting the 25 pulls, plus, of course, the guaranteed mold and the skin. This is a lot better, in my opinion, than what we currently have. And I will say that I prefer this over the current system that we ourselves have. The second thing I want to talk is...
It's another thing. It just gives a little bit more option to the player, right? You know, depending on how you want to go about it. What do you want out of the pass? Do you not necessarily want this? Okay, we've got a different version for you. Again, I agree. I'm never the biggest fan, usually, of tiered battle passes where you've got a free, a paid one, and then the ultra premium one, typically. But at the same time, it is nice to have an ability to get access to just materials. You know, don't care about skins. Okay, you're not too bothered about maybe going for the mold. All right, you just want access to materials. Yeah, it does suck though. It does suck.
Loading times, because guys, you all know how slow Nikke is, and in order to demonstrate this, I'm just gonna close the game and I'm gonna reopen so you guys can see this in action. Okay, you all know how slow our normal
based wallpaper. Let's
Nikke
go.
version can be. This game it's 1,000 times faster. Yes, of course, it is still...
Again, this makes no sense to me.
Literally,
you know?
will open Nikke.
This is just literally an optimization patch. Like, why on earth this wouldn't roll out to CN when it can go out to... I mean, wouldn't roll out to Global when it can literally go out to CN on launch is kind of ridiculous.
Go do something else, because you know it's going to take 3-4 minutes to like actually load.
Make yourself a cup of tea.
Now, let's wait until this starts loading. And as you can see, in fact, you can even start counting since I press the button if you want. And it's still less time than what it will take our normal Nikke client to load in and do everything. So you get these two screens. You go directly into loading with our favorite girl, Rapapi, right here. You get the login message.
Damn, that is already looking quick.
That was our two screens for loading. You in. There you go.
That is,
yes, you can compare this to like a normal, the PC version. And of course,
I don't even feel like I need to make a direct side-by-side comparison now. I could jump on a boot Nikke up right now, but that already looks much quicker to me.
the mobile version of
And I'm running on a good PC as well, you know what I mean?
Actually get you in. That's the second thing. The amount of trash code Shift Tab has to have for Nikke to be this slow while the Chinese version has no issue loading in is disgusting. Some people, before you type, oh Sephi, it might be the anti-cheat. They use the same anti-cheat, ACE, easy anti-cheat or whatever it's called. Now, the other thing that is minor, but I might talk about it later, it's frames and titles. The amount of frames and titles they have, the Chinese version is already a lot better, and it's not only botting titles and botting frames that you only get for the raids or for free, it's actually titles that are pretty cute for pre-registering, for doing achievements.
What is it with CN companies and CN now in the gacha space? What is it with... I get it, right. I understand that CN typically is the largest revenue base outside of probably like JP and then like Korea and North America for a lot of these companies, right? But the drastic difference in how communities are treated is just like... It's like, why? You know? Why? I just don't get it. I understand maybe listening to CN more, you know, because, again, they're a lot more vocal and they will move with their wallets quicker, I think, than a lot of other communities. Well, it seems that way. Or this just two-tiered system in so many games, it's crazy.
Etc.
I'm lost for words.
This one for registering on Wii Game. You also have the one that is from TapTap. There is like a lot of different ones. There is like 3 or 4 more already that I forgot to show or take a screenshot. That is what it is. And now let's talk about the...
It's a minor thing, but still frustrating.
Those 3 things are whatever. Cosmetics, we don't care. Battle
Not a major deal.
Layer rewards, whatever. You know, some people might like it, some people might dislike it. I personally like it because I would be buying these pools always. But I don't care about 90% of the skins Nikke releases because they are pretty bad unless they are the gacha skins. And then loading times, I think we all can agree loading times are good no matter what. This is another...
Yeah, for sure. You know, loading times in games suck, right? You know, and any reduction in loading times is always
frame.
good.
This is another title, sorry, not frame, as you can see. Pretty cute for registering with TapTap. There's a few more that I don't know if I will even be able to show here. I don't think I have them. Unlucky. But yeah, those 3 things are, you know, 50-50. Let's go about the main topic for this video.
Oh, let's get into it.
Mods.
We're going to talk about mods, okay.
In this game are guaranteed. Now, I said this that I was going to be waiting to see if this was on the final version or not, because the global beta for Nikke had something similar, but they ended up changing it. When you get the mold in the Chinese version of Nikke, you cannot lose. There is no SRs. Now, you can...
What do you say to that? What do you say to that? Actually crazy that you can't lose down to an SR. It's just SSRs, or you can get the parts towards an SSR. So you can lose, technically, you can lose, right? But it's not to a lower tier of unit. It's just parts towards another SSR, which is obviously it's a loss, right? It's a loss, but it's not the same kind of loss. You're not dropping down and just being like, okay, I got shafted. You know, RNG fucked me there. It's just you know, okay, come back again, and you can retry kind of thing.
Lose a mold, and instead of getting an SR character, you have a 39% chance of getting 12 of those pieces right here. These pieces, when you get 50, it's a guaranteed SSR. By the way, this asset, this art has been in the Nikke Global since release. They just never bothered to use it. But this is a 100 guaranteed SSR mold on a 4% for every character.
It's like it was there, you know, again, as he said in regards to the beta, it was there, the artwork was kept, and then it was just like, yeah, we'll hold on to that for you know, for the special child at a later date. You guys just, you can look at it, right? You can see you don't get to touch. You don't get to touch.
They have less characters right now. So when we talk about quality of life, there are certain things that we need to get. This is not a matter of when we're getting it or maybe they cannot do it, Sephi. No, we've been playing 2.5 years. How many of you have opened 5, 6, 7 malls in a row and got nothing on our SSR malls that are like what, 61% right now? How many of you have opened literally tens of malls and got nothing, bro, or just one SSR? And now here they are guaranteed. And it's like, yeah, sure, there is some quality of life that it's, you know, it's literal quality of life that is not.
As I say though, even like these smaller tweaks are a quality of life, you know, things like the game loading in quicker, things like the battle pass, right? Things like the profiles, the titles, you know, they might not seem like major, even though like the loading times is a major thing. Like, you know, not when it comes to video games, right? A reduction in loading times is pretty big. It might not seem it when you speak about it, but it's pretty major, really. All of those things, you're like, okay, that's quality of life updates. It's not breaking the game. It's not really ruining the experience, shall I say? Although loading times, the mold situation is insane. But all of these, just there's no reason why Global hasn't got them. I'd love to know the reason, and I'm sure there will be people out there that will be playing defense and offering up reasons why and arguing that this is why it should be like this. I'd love to see those arguments because it just doesn't make sense to me.
Not mandatory. For example, towers in here, they can auto progress. Right click, as you can see on the bottom, right here, this button. You guys can see what I'm clicking. This is for auto progression, and this will basically mean that when you finish a level, it will go to the next one automatically and progress until you fail. That's like literally a quality of life. That doesn't matter if we get it or not. It would be nice, but it's not something that will, you know. Again,
I disagree. I think those things kind of like do matter, you know? If it's not in the game, it's not in the game, right? There's quality of life, little tweaks. You know, we spoke about this many times in my videos and in my streams where, you know, there's plenty of things in a game where the game wouldn't be, it's not worse off for not having it, but having it is like an improvement. It's not like you're like, well, I can't play the game anymore because it's not there. You're not going to stop playing. It's not ruining your experience, so to speak. But it would be nice to have it. And then a certain section of the player base get it, and it's like, okay, now it actually feels like an experience ruining option now, because it's like, we could have it. It's right there. Some people do have it. So it is incredibly frustrating.
Make or break an account. But the guaranteed mall over 2.5 years.
This is the major problem. This is the major problem.
Imagine the amount of characters every free-to-play account, not even well or spenders, most free-to-plays have lost overall. It is retarded. It is just disgusting in my opinion that this is not in the global version. But yeah, there is a bunch of different things I want to talk about for the Chinese version, a bunch of character kits.
I'd love to know the reasoning the devs have got then.
Here.
I wonder if we'll get a response from them.
Miranda is better.
In regards to the molds, you know?
Is better, and 102 is better. So many different characters are better. I want to talk about that. I'll make separate videos when I go in depth into
so he's talking about kits actually being improved now as well, which again, why? You know, if fundamentally you think characters need to have potential tweaks, why only for one community?
I'm understanding their skills. That said, just want a short video before I go to bed because it's almost 6 AM, guys. I'm too tired.
Bro.
I'm gonna go pass out. I love you all. Do let me know how you
get some sleep, man. Get some sleep.
Feel about the molds being 100%, and if you think Shift Up will bring any of these to global or not. That's it.
Now.
I'm out. Love you all bastards. Good
luck. Great video. Great video. Guys, go check out Sephi here, bringing you with the info. It has to come to global, right? It surely, like the molds has to, the loading screens has to, the auto click, it all has to, in my opinion. Like, you know, it all has to, but the mold situation, obviously, first and foremost, that's going to change people's accounts. Right, that's account affecting. All the others are experience effects, which I've said this before. Small quality of life updates might seem very small on their own, right, in a vacuum. When you start totaling them up, it's game changing. it's game changing. You know, there's a reason why it's called quality of life update. It improves the quality of the game, right? And as I say, in small crumbs here and there, it's like whatever. But then as you start getting into dozens and dozens, it's like, okay, we've got a totally different game here. And this is what we've got right here with Nikke. You've got CN playing a different version of the game with better options, better quality of life, and guarantees on molds as well. Well, sort of, you know, but still kind of a guarantee because you can only fail into building up towards an SSR anyway. So it is a guarantee, really, when you think about it. And yeah, this is pretty shitty from Shift Up. So I'd love to see what kind of response we get from them, whether this comes to global, when it comes to global, and why hasn't it come to global. I really, really would like to know. But guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Go check out Sephi as well if you're into Nikke. He's the man. And yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, guys, and found it informative, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Ciao.